Alright, here we're going to start by laying a thread base down. Take some pseudo eyes in medium. We're going to be tying these in about an eye length from behind the eye of the hook. Make sure they're tied on straight. There we go. And we're going to flip them over. If you want, you can hit them with some tack free. Actually, I'm going to use some hydro. It's going to be a little bit better. Let that soak in. Oops. Get that stray piece out of there. Alright, next, work our way down, give it a nice thread base, take some of our crab eyes in red. Oops. I like to tie those in about an eye length, or excuse me, a hook length. In, and then so make them a hook length long. Get that out of the way. Flip it over. Try to make these as even as possible. Now, come down the hook, secure them by going in front and then coming at an angle, so I diagonally make them flare out. Do the same exact thing with the other side. Which is easier said than done. That should be good. There. Next, take some calf tail in hot orange. Get all the excess long fibers out. And I'll measure this to the length of the hook. Just going to cut that, lay it down. Just behind the eyes. And if these go all crazy, it's fine. Just pinch them and they'll go straight back up. Next, Actually, we can tie in the legs first. Just need one set. I'm using some silly legs in pumpkin orange tipped. I also like to use the chartreuse and orange tipped. Tie those in the top of the hook, and I like to stretch them and then come down. Don't pull too tight, but then have them just lay on the top of the hook. Next, we're going to take some black crystal flash. Take one piece, we're going to clip it once to make 2 strands. Double that over to make 4, and lay that right on the top of the hook. And then we're going to make sure everything is even. And snip that so they're just even with the legs. Next, we're going to take some hot orange crystal flash. Once again, measuring 1 full piece. If I can get it. Clip it once, fold it over. Once again, making sure the tips are as even as possible. Clipping it twice, so we have 4 strands. And then once again, you're going to double it over again to have 8 strands. Then we're going to actually tie that in. Just behind the epoxy eyes again. So it's just going to be even with the cowtail, or the calf tail, excuse me. We're going to take some, the claws that I created, the tiger bar rabbit strip in the mahi green and black over chartreuse. Then just, I would say, measure them to the calf tail. Oops. Tie those in nice and tight. And yes, these will, the eyes will be all funky, but once again, measure it to and make sure it matches up with the tail, or the, I'm sorry, the other claw. There we go. And once again, it's quite alright if these eyes do not cooperate. You just pull them back and then to the side. So now, sorry about that, we're going to be taking, as we discussed before, the streamer brushes, tie those in, and actually we're going to tie this pearl olive one first. Then we're going to tie the hot orange one in. Alright, so take this down, take the thread down all the way to the end. Now with this hot orange, you don't want to make it so tight because these are expensive. And you want to take the pearl olive streamer brush and stick it in there too. So just up to the hook eye, and like I said, don't space it so close together that you can't have a nice section when you tie in or wrap the other brush eye in. Stroke the fibers back. This is really when the 210 denier comes in handy, so you can really get in there and tie it down well. And if you have any fine point scissors that are not very sharp, this is really when they shine, especially because we're cutting wire. So you don't want to be using your best scissors here. Like I said, once again, we're going to just wrap this around, all the while stroking the fibers back, kind of sectioning it off to make that orange really shine. Come right behind the eyes, get it in there. Come in with our thread. And really cinch this down, making sure that we aren't capturing any of the fibers and making it really nice and neat. Stick that on there so I can clip it off. Reach in with my scissors. Ooh, that's not good. Almost had a malfunction there with my scissors, but we did not. Once again, because it's nice and secure, we're going to whip finish. Once, twice, get those EP fibers out of the way. I like to pull down, check to make sure everything's okay, and then whip finish one more time, and this time be really careful. I like to take my thumbnail and then just kind of pull down and come in nice and close, clip it. Now to finish this fly, actually we can grab our brush. Oh man, this is such a great fly. Grab our brush and then brush it out, fold the fibers back. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to take some more hydro. Brush it onto the thread wraps, making sure that you don't get the hook eye which I did, unfortunately, and if that happens, clear that out. There we go. Solved my problem and then I made it worse. There we go. Hit it well with your torch. And there you have it. The Reds Critter by Enrico Puglisi.